Hey everybody, Tim Shepard here with English Adventure Academy. And in this video, we're just going to go over some of the very basics of the Roll20 system that we use to go on adventures and teach English. So let's go ahead and get started. Once you're on the home page, you should see this. Of course, step one is to create your free account. Pretty straightforward. Once you've done that, you can sign in over here using your email and password. And then I believe it takes you default to this page where it shows you your recent games. Of course, if this is your first time logging in and using Roll20, you won't see anything here. I will be sending you a link to the free introductory session. And then you click that, and then in the future, it'll show up here. So the next time you log in, you'll see the game here. We're going to use Tess as an example. But you can just click on the picture to load that particular adventure up. Takes you to that adventure, and then you can just launch game. Takes a couple seconds to load the game depending on your internet connection. But once it loads up, we'll go over to some of the basics of the user interface for Roll20. Okay, we've loaded up actually in a different view here as the game master or dungeon master. So when I'm running these adventures, I can see everything, so it helps me control the adventure and what happens. But let's go ahead and load back in as a player so I can show you guys exactly what you would see on a particular map. Again, it takes a couple seconds to load. Once we're loaded up, depending on where you load up in the map, you might see just black or just a little bit of color. And if you're kind of lost, you can move the map around using the side scrolling bar here to go up and down, or the bottom scroll bar here to go left and right. You can also use the zoom function here to zoom all the way in or zoom all the way out. And this could be helpful if you're completely lost and not sure where you are on the map. You can zoom all the way out and then see, oh, okay, there's my character. And then you can kind of center on that and then kind of zoom back in. And then to move the map with your mouse, all you got to do by default is to hold the right mouse button and drag to move the map around. So you can move to your character. We're right here, right? This is my character. You can left click on your character to select them. And this allows you to move them around. It shows you some of the stats, which we'll go into in another video. And to move your character, again, you just select using the left mouse button, and then you use the arrow keys to move the character around. And they move one box at a time. And sometimes there's a little bit of lag there depending on the internet connection. But that's how you select and move your character. Next, over here in the top left, we have some additional options. We have the select, move, and pan view. Select move is what we were just using to right click and move the map, or left click your character. The pan view allows you to hold down the left mouse button to move the map around. But if you have that selected, you can't select your character. So if you're confused and you're not able to select your character like you normally can, probably just means you have another one of these options selected and you need to go back to the select and move right here to be able to select your character. Okay, next we have the draw tool or the paint tool where you can draw some shapes on the map to show something of interest, or if you're trying to show the other players something on the map, or you're trying to show me something, you can draw shapes or lines. And then there's different ways to delete these. You can go back to the select and move. You can click and drag the left mouse button and then just delete all of those. All right, next we have the zoom tool here. This is the same as the zoom function over here. So you can zoom in, zoom out using this also. Here we have the ruler. This is handy for measuring the distance on a map. So this is important because you might need to figure out how far you can move. You might need to figure out how far an enemy is from your character, how far you can shoot an arrow or cast a spell. So this is very important for kind of measuring the distance of something. All right, here we have the dice tool, which you can click on and pulls up this, or you can just hover over it with your mouse and it pulls up this, which allows you to roll the different types of dice in Dungeons and Dragons to determine how much damage you do, whether you hit something, etc. And we'll go into more detail about this system in a future video. But whenever you select a dice to roll, it'll show you the number in the chat window over here. So we rolled this number of die. This is the total number. You can also left click and select them from here and then roll. Or you can manually select it from here, the number of dice you're going to roll, the type, if you have any modifiers, and then roll from here also. And it shows you your history of rolls that you can just re-roll from here also. Okay. And then finally you have the help link, which links to Roll20's help database, which is very helpful if there's something that's still confusing or something that's not working right. You can go here and find a lot of helpful information. Okay, and then over here in the top right, we have a couple additional options. We have the chat window, which is exactly what it sounds like. Right? This is where all the information comes up when you're rolling dice, or if you want to say hi to people in your party. This is where all of that pops up. Or maybe I'm wanting to send a message to players. That'll show up over here also. The next tab is your journal. This will have all the information that's related to the adventure that you're going on. So your character, various handouts that have additional information. This is where you want to go for any information regarding the adventure specifically. The next tab is the information tab. This is very helpful. You can search for any specific thing you're wanting to learn about in the world of Dungeons and Dragons. So let's say you want to learn more about a fighter. You can type it in. It pulls up that entry. You click on it. And it'll give you all the basic information about a fighter. And of course, I'll be with you to help and answer any questions, but this resource is very helpful to learn about anything you may want to learn about Dungeons and Dragons. Here is the jukebox. This is something as a player you don't need to worry about. But as a game master or dungeon master, I can play music while you're going on the adventure, which can add a lot to the atmosphere and the feeling of the adventure. So that's fun. Here is your macro section. If you don't know what macros are, don't worry about it. You can just kind of ignore this section. It allows you to customize hotkeys, basically, for more advanced skills or abilities in the adventure. And then finally, this is your settings tab. This is where you can exit the game. You can change your display name to whatever you would like it to be. You can adjust the master volume if it's too loud or too quiet. And then there's some additional settings here, which most you can leave as default. But again, if you're running into any issues, you can always ask me and I can help you out. But that's the setting bar there. And that just about covers everything I wanted to show you guys in this video, introducing the Roll20 system. There's just two other quick things. Down here in the bottom left-hand corner, there's a little hotkey bar here, which allows you to drag certain skills from your character or elsewhere, and then you just click on it here. And so I'll show you that in more detail later, but that's what this is down here. You can drag skills and initiative and weapons down there, and you just click on that, and it rolls the attack for you, rather than having to open up your character and find the weapon from there and then clicking on the weapon. So it's much faster. And then finally here, everybody that's in the game will have a little icon to where they'll have a picture or their video, their name, and you'll see everybody down here. Depending on the system that we're using for audio and video, this might be more or less relevant. There can be issues with the Roll20 system when it comes to audio and video. So we may not be using it, but Either way, you'll see all the characters down here that are in the game, all the players. And if we're not using the video, you'll still see a picture icon for each player. If we are using video and it's working properly, then you'll see the video down here as well as audio, and you can turn your video on and off. You can mute yourself. Okay, I think that's everything for now. Hopefully this was helpful, an introduction to the Roll20 system that we use here at English Adventure Academy. Hope it was helpful, hope you enjoyed, and we look forward to seeing you all in the next adventure. Ciao.